Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time it is for you. I'm Psycho, and welcome to Let's Play Train Simulator Classic. We're going to do our second scenario today on Horseshoe Curve, the two that I plan to do for the weekend, and Danger at Rose Tower is what it's called, which is kind of an interesting sounding title because the description does not seem to match. You have now been working around Altoona for a couple of months and are becoming familiar with the workings of the yard. It is near the end of your shift. Finish up your duties so you can clock off for the day. Why is it called Danger at Rose Tower if all we're doing is finishing up our duties? What is going on here? Let's see what we can get into on this. Good evening. Is everything ready? Great. Let's get to work. Hopefully it'll be a quiet night to do some switching. We have most of this yard to ourselves. Yep, I like it. The beautiful vistas, the trains on the tracks, the smell of smoke in the air. Wait, smoke in the air? Oh no. Emergency, emergency, emergency. Alto Tower to 9764A. There is a fire at Rose Tower. You are the closest engine. Previous orders are annulled. I need you to clear the immediate area of all stock before the fire gets out of control. Ooh, that's not good. ERS 158572 with hoppers is in front of Rose Tower on your track ahead of you. Without an engineer. Couple to it, then reverse it back so your engine is at the safe distance where an engineer is waiting. That will be far enough. Then await further instruction. I'm counting on you to make the area safe. We're going to pause for a second here and finish reading this because this will disappear if I don't pause. You may exceed yard speed limits up to 40 miles per hour, which is an important detail. We don't have to go 40, I don't think, but we can if we want to. But beware of high speeds, over switches, and of coupling too fast, as that remains a danger to yourself and others, of course. So if you decide to run into a set of cars at 25 miles per hour, you deserve to derail. Just putting that out there right now. And an important detail about this is when you are measuring trains, I tested this out already before trying to record this the first time, and unfortunately that recording didn't take, so I can tell you for certain now, having done it once already, when you are putting a vehicle, any kind of vehicle we pick up in this scenario at a, quote, safe distance, you want to actually bring the front of the train right to the arrow. So the front of the train is right on the arrow. Your goal is to line up, for example, the front of the engine or the front of the frontmost car that you're hauling in front of you. Whatever car is 2 on the pad, on the when you push 2 on your views, I'm going to show you what I mean when I get going here, but whatever car you push 2 on your views and it goes to that car as the front of the train, that car has to be behind the arrow. Actually, not behind, but at the arrow, because the further away you are from the arrow, you lose accuracy points in this scenario. Yes, this is... for some stupid reason, you can pull it further away from the fire than they want you to, and you're going to be dinged for accuracy. That makes no sense to me, but that's what happens here. So we're going to go ahead and try to do this as well as we possibly can. I want to also note that I have made adjustments to the scoring on the scenario to make 1,000 points possible, but I've still kept it to the point where it is a little bit of a challenge. Even though I don't agree with the concept of the scoring, I have kept it a challenge all the same to at least make it something interesting. So let's unpause, let's get ourselves going, and let's pick up our first batch of cars right up here. Going to move the reverse route immediately. We're going to get this up to a level 3 throttle to goad this thing into action. Then we're going to quickly bring it back down to a level 2. There we go. So notice that we are able to go above 15 up to 40 as indicated, but we don't have too far to go here, so we're not going to do too much of that. The brake on this train is not really good unless you get into a high braking power. As you can see, 17% is doing nothing. So I'm going to use a patented trick known as put the reverser in the other direction, and we're going to throw power against our speed so that we have our slowdown from doing that. What I will advise is don't do that to change direction very quickly, because you will get dinged for quality if you do that. So let's throw some gas on right now. Gonna keep going at that speed for now. We're gonna take a little bit more off. We're gonna hear from Dan Hernandez here. We are connected. Pull these guys away. At a reasonable speed, of course. So let's hit 2, and you're gonna see that I'm on the yeah, that's the engine at the front. So my engine is further to the back here. My engine is this one back here, so I'm hauling this guy back here. This is now the front. We have to get this car behind the arrow you see on the HUD. That car, 8572, has to be behind the arrow. So we're going to keep taking this back. I'm going to put the reverser in a forward position now to do the same speed thing once I actually get far enough. Note that we have to finish this task by 8:15, or sorry, 6:15. 18:15, so 6:15. Hi, Dan Hernandez. So we're going to try and get this thing to the arrow where the worker is. Good enough for now. I'm going to put a small brake application on, but not too much. The arrow is right there at the front. That'll do nicely. So bring the train to a stop. We're going to get given a presentation on how well we did on this task, which should be a 225 points because I've adjusted the points for the scoring on that. Should be 225 points for the stop, up to 50 points for the accuracy. We got a full 225 on the timeliness. We're going to get our accuracy points now. 48. I was off by 2. See how spiky that is? The arrow is right in front, but we're still apparently just off. I don't like that. I honestly don't like that. I really don't think that's the way it should have been scored, but that's what they did. Also to 9764A, there are also some hoppers and boxcars near Rose Tower, which we are concerned about. Reverse and switch through the yard to get the hoppers in West Departure 23 to safe distance. Then the boxcars, pause for a second. Then the boxcars in West Departure 21. If you can get the last freight cars dropped off safely by 18:30, there might be a bonus for you. So we're going to keep going backwards. I can increase the speed for this. So why did I make the points 225 points on this, you might be asking? I want to just give you a quick explanation of the itinerary. There's a second point gain here for going via the next track. There's another one for going via the third track. And there's another one for finishing on time. So that's 900 points right there that we've now made. It was originally 800 points. I made it 900 points. Each of these drop-offs, so there's 2 more, each of these drop-offs is another 50 points eligible. I have therefore made 1,050 points available on this scenario, thereby making 1,000 points easily obtainable to someone who is at least semi-accurate. You can get 50 on those drop-offs, but it is very, very challenging. I'm going to apply some power back on the front so I don't go too fast over the points here. I've gone via the point I need to, so I'm going to add a little more speed on to get slowed down quickly here. What I want to do, though, is check the track I need to go on. So I am actually continuing to take the speed off. I'm going to break it down at 2. I'm just going to leave it going for a moment in case I need a little more, but I think I might be okay now. Is this the track I want to go to? This is track number 23. That's exactly where I want to go. So I'm good to go forward. Let's go ahead and quickly bring that down, put the brakes on to finish. There we go, and now we're going to go forward now that we've come to a proper stop. So on we go to West Departure 23. And we have another pickup to do. Once we get into the track, I'm going to go ahead and move forward at a much faster speed so we can take advantage of the fact that we are allowed to do so. But what I'm going to do first is try to... Actually, I think I am off the points, so... Yeah, I think I can go ahead now. There's my time as bonus, another 225. I'm now at 498 points. So we have a lot of distance we can still cover here. But annoying the brakes are not working as well as they should for me. Even if it's realistic, they're not working that well. So we're going to be doing our reverse trick as soon as we pass the arrow, to bring the speed down a little bit. Now some trains are programmed to not let you do this, but at the same time those brakes work a lot better. So you know what, it's okay. If the brakes work fine, we don't care. We should see the fire in just a moment here. So I'm going to start doing the reversal now. Hey, Dan Hernandez, why don't you come help me out here? So zooming in again, we can see the train cars are coming. I think I'm far enough away that I can still cruise at this speed, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Those cars 2 over are the next set of cars we're going to pick up, and they are the final set of cars, those Pennsylvania cars. Good enough. I should be able to collide safely now. There we go. We can reverse now. And off we go, getting this away from the Rose Tower fire. Once again, we're going to try and stop the car before the arrow, or right on the arrow, I should say. So I'm going to put a little speed back on here. We hear you, Dan Hernandez. Thank you. I went a little too far. The arrow is not where I want it. It should be on my screen. So I'm going to get the stop register, but I'm going to go ahead and push the train up just a wee bit back up to the arrow. But I have to wait for the stop to complete before I can do that. So I will take the brakes off and move the train back forward just a wee bit. Because, you know, going beyond the arrow is not good enough. You must be on the arrow. I don't agree with this, I just want to point out again. That'll do. So we're going to go ahead and uncouple here, see how that works. 46, still not good enough. Okay, well, we're going to have to deal with it. So going in reverse now. Away we go. Alto 9764A, you are doing great. Just the boxcars in West Departure 21 to go. Haul them away so the engine's at the safe distance. We can't risk a stray spark catching those cars. Okay. We're going to turn off our coupling view again. Once again, we have the space, so I'm going to go ahead and put a little speed on while we are in the yellow. Once we hit reverse point 2, we actually have to go a little bit further because we have to get the whole train to the reverse point. If just the back car is at the reverse point, we're still going to be in the entrance to 23 and 22. So we need to go a little further to get past and be able to access 21. As you can see, I'm now applying some speed. I'm down to 15, which is what I want to do for the points. I should have done that for the first one too, actually, but I didn't. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep an eye on the map for a second here. We've seen this area already, so let's keep an eye on the map just to see what we're working with. We are all the way down here now. We need to go 2 tracks over. How are we going to do that? Very, very carefully. Right here, I believe. So I'm going to go forward now. Okay, I got the brakes on. Let's just make sure my path is indeed that's not how. Let's make sure my path is indeed correct here as I go back to the map, and I am being routed now into 21. That's where I want to go. So we're going to go forwards. We're safe to proceed. Gotta get up to 15. Dan Hernandez is busy tonight. Four-man Dan Hernandez. I wish you could turn that radio chatter off. I really do. Because, yeah, they try to make it realistic, but it just loops. It's the same thing over and over. Foreman Dan Hernandez. Go through the TNT. There it is. There's our timing bonus, so there's another 225. And we are now over 750, which means we are looking at a good potential result here. The other 225 would bring us up to 994 at this point. Once we get it, we can be off by 6 points. And we actually, let me try that again. We can be off by about... we only need 6 points, so we can be off by 44 units, and we're still good for this final stop. So we should be able to nail this, but we're still going to try and do it as close as we can. We're not going to know how perfect it is, though, because naturally we're going to be, well, only getting 6 points, no matter how close we are. So as long as we're close enough, we get our 6 points. I'm also going very much faster here, as Dan Hernandez just keeps wanting to go west. We've got 4 scenarios with this train, guys. Get used to this. We're going to hear him on other trains as well. So the fire should be showing up soon. That's the building. Why is it not on fire? I command thee, fire. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, I think we're close enough now to speed I want to be, so here we go. We'll wait until we collide. Then we'll haul these suckers away. Perfect. On we go in the other direction. I think I can go up to 20, and that should be fast enough here. So once again, the car on the front is the one that we want to get in front of the arrow. I went to 24. That was not what I wanted to do. Let's put some speed on right away. Minimal brake application so we can make sure we come to a stop. I'm getting tired of hearing the name Dan Hernandez right now. What about you guys? Right here. That'll do. We're going to be good enough for points here. I'm not sure how accurate that is. We'll set up for our closure here. Our closing removal. You see we just have to do the drop-off. We're going to be told to do another stop task right here where we are. That'll be our 1830 marker point. So let's see how we do. Actually, we are going to see how accurate this is because the stop comes after. So we have 3 minutes to do this. Let's just go ahead and do it, shall we? Aqua 2 to 9764. I have an update. The fire is under control. You did well to clear all the freight cars from the area. This could have been a lot worse. Come back to the depot and get some rest. Normally I would say let's look at the train, but I don't think we're going to have the option to do that because this is an automatic view. I can't move this view, so we are stuck in... Oh, no, I actually can move the view, but we're being told the scenario is completed. So since it did the automatic view, I'm not going to go looking for the train. We're just going to take another view of the fire. The fire is apparently under control, and there's another view of the fire from above. So they did try to make this scenario interesting, and that I like the fact that the fire is here to make this scenario interesting. But let's go ahead and move on to our scoring screen and see how we did. So I think I cut out a little bit on the, I cut into the move to the menu there. The screen froze to show that I ran out of time to talk. We'll just leave that in. So, yeah, I actually misspoke. You actually do get to see how accurate you are on that, and then you just know you did your timeliness in this case. So, as you can see, I would have gained another 30 points there had they been available. 1,000 is the maximum score. That's exactly how I think the scenario should have been done. 100%, this is how the scenario should have been done. You're going to be great on accuracy. You're never going to get perfect on all 3 accuracy stops. If you get all 3 accuracy stops perfect, you still don't get a perfect score. So this is how I think it really should have been done. You should have had the extra leeway to be able to make the stops and still be able to get a perfect job well done and, beers at the tower or whatever it is that you would do afterwards. Especially if it's the end of your shift. I don't know. But in any case, that's 2 scenarios for Horseshoe Curve now looked at and corrected into a scoring mechanism that I think is more appropriate for those scenarios. What are we going to do next? Believe it or not, I'm finally going to do the scenario that I've been wanting to do for a while. We're going to be heading over to the Miami West Palm Beach route, and we're going to look at something special. And I do mean something special. That is my goal for Tuesday. I want to show you that scenario. I want to get that scenario started. We're going to go ahead and finally get that scenario done. And I think you're going to like something in this one, guys. It might be boring afterwards, but I think if you stick with me at the start of it, you're going to like what comes up in the middle of the scenario. And then after that, if you don't want to stay for the whole drive, that's entirely up to you. But I would love to have it for the entire ride just to see what happens on that ride. This is a scenario that has been played by other people as well. Very highly well-regarded scenario. So I think you're going to enjoy this if you haven't seen it already. If you want to know what scenario it is, well, come back next time. I'm Cyclo. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel. I will see you next time. And have a wonderful day, evening, or night, whatever it is for you at your part of the world. Like I said, see you next time. Bye-bye.